Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first State of the District address. This is will be hosted on a YouTube page, and we'll post the link. Obviously, if you're watching this, we posted the link. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Rhonda Taylor, and I have my cabinet here with me. We're going to walk you through this presentation. The purpose of this presentation is just to give you an update of where we are as a district and where our goals are and what we're hoping for our students. So I am going to move on to the next slide. This is our board president, Andrew Hayes. And so he does have a little message on here where he is talking about, his thoughts and his feelings for the school district as we're moving forward and how important it is to adhere to the Lakeside way of doing things and that we're just all hands on deck for our students. This is also our school board here. So we have Laura Hofer Meyer. She is our vice president of the school board. James Bennett is our clerk. And we have Ron Casper there, who is a trustee, and Autumn Ellison, who is also a trustee. So the vision of the Lakeside Union School District is to ignite passion in today's students for tomorrow's opportunity. And the mission of our school district is to ignite a love of lifelong learning, to work on academic, vocational, and social skills necessary for lifelong fulfillment, a respect for self and others, an appreciation for the arts. Each school has some sort of a performing arts and visual arts program, a sense of responsibility to our community and our global environment. So we participate in the rodeo parade, and we have the Spirit of Christmas, and we do performances at the Women's Art Club. We submit a lot of visual art pieces for that as well. And we do various community events. We have a realization for the need for peaceful resolution of conflict as well. We have several core values, and I will move our slide forward here, where we are talking about being dedicated to teaching students to be active learners in their learning. We are talking about excellence in teaching. That means that we are giving our teachers the curriculum and the training that they need to do an excellent job in their classrooms. We have respect for human differences. We are always looking for continuous improvement. We're never done. And our board is committed to effective governance. And so we are very committed to those core values and our goals. This is me. And so, like I said, I'm Dr. Rhonda Taylor. And one of my favorite quotes is from Rita Pearson. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will not give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they can become the best that they can possibly be. I became an educator because I wanted to be that person, that adult that I needed as a child. I've worked in the Lakeside Union School District in one capacity or another for about 28 years. I student taught at Lakeview. Then I went to Mountain Empire School District for a little while. I came back. I taught at Lakeview again, moved over to Lakeside Farms, became the assistant principal at Lakeside Middle School, and then the principal at Lakeview Elementary for I think about 6 or 7 years. Came to the district office for a couple of years. Then I went to be a principal in Poway for about 6 years. But while I was a principal in Poway, I ran for school board in Lakeside and I won 2 elections, stepped down from my position to apply for the superintendency. And I'm very, very grateful to be back home and be leading this amazing district. So I'd like to walk you through how our district is organized. At the top of our organizational chart, we have the Board of Education. Then there's myself, the school principals, and my executive assistant. We go down to our Ed Services team, and it's really small. Our Educational Services team and our Business Services team. We also have Human Resources. All of those people have many people underneath them. And so now I'd like to introduce you to my cabinet. We have Dr. Natalie Winspear. She is the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. We have Davis, who is the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. We have Dr. Christine Sinatra. She's the Executive Director of Human Resources. And my assistant, Lisa DeRozier. She is assistant to myself and also to the Board of Trustees. So now I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Davis, who's going to walk you through our finances. Advance the slide and then add Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning.
Oh,
thank you, Dr. Taylor. And as she introduced me, my name is Lisa Davis, and I am the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. Business Services is responsible for the creating and maintaining a fiscally sound, strong budget for the Lakeside Union School District. We oversee all school expenditures and revenues and meet regularly with all departments to ensure fiscal accuracy and adherence to the education code. I'm also on part of the team who meets to bargain with our unions. And we also oversee 2 charter schools: Verona Indian Charter School and River Valley Charter School. I'd like to introduce you to my team and describe their functions. First, we have Samantha Orahood, who is the Director of Finance. Samantha oversees the district's business office team and ensures the compliance and timelines of reporting requirements, following federal, state, and local regulations, works with external auditors annually, works closely with our principals and department directors with the development and management of their budgets and expenditures. And Samantha also works with our 2 charter schools. Next, we have Todd Owens, who is the Director of Maintenance, Operations, Facilities, and Transportation. Todd oversees the district's day and night custodians, maintenance and operations staff, and oversees the transportation supervisor. Todd's responsible for district-wide facilities, from the daily maintenance and cleaning of our facilities, recommending and updating short and long-term facilities plans, oversees small and large-scale projects such as our recently completed modernizations at Lindo Park, Lakeside Farms, Tierra del Sol, and the current energy savings project. He's a very busy person. We also have Jenny Lopez, who is the supervisor of transportation. Jenny supervises the daily operations of the transportation of students. She oversees the bus and van drivers and the district's mechanic, developing routes for both general and special education students, facilitates field trips and monitors and complies with the many regulations regarding the vehicles used for the transportation of students. We have Christy Summers, who's the Director of Child Nutrition. Her department serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner along with summer meals. She oversees the central kitchen staff and child nutrition staff at all district sites, developing and monitoring the child nutrition budget, applying for any grants, collecting free and reduced price meal applications, which are still very important to collect for the continued funding of federal Title I programs. Christy also works with staff in the development of meals, making sure to follow all meal pattern requirements. This is a self-sustaining program funded by state and federal reimbursement for meals funds. Next is Brian Bicycle. He's our manager of the technology department. Brian oversees a small but mighty technology team. His responsibilities include managing the district's staff and student devices, which include MacBooks, iPads, Chromebooks, and staff devices, the district's infrastructure, such as switches, routers, internet, phone system, district licenses, and software purchases, compliance with federal and state regulations, and development of the district's refresh plan for rotation of devices and the end of life for switches and routers. Our team is concluded with Jared Murphy, who's the manager of Extended Student Services. Jared manages the before-after summer, winter, spring break program. He oversees all ESS staff, developing programs and activities for students during their hours before or after school for enrichment and homework help. This is a very popular program, and during spring break and summer programs, the enrollment list fills up very, very fast. This is also a self-sustaining parent fee-based program. Next slide. This slide shows our district budget and finance for this year, 2022-2023. It shows our general fund in a pie chart format, with the top chart showing our revenue budget of $77.6 million. As you can see, the majority of the revenues are a combination from the state-funded local control funding formula, or as we like to call it, the LCFF, and our community's property taxes. When a school district's property tax base does not meet the state's per pupil funding amount, then the state will fund the additional amount to bring a district up to the per pupil amount. Our property taxes bring in $12.3 million. However, to fully fund the per pupil amount, an additional $38.5 million is needed from the state for a total of $50.8 million for our school district. The other parts of the pie chart are federal, state, and local funds that we receive. The bottom pie chart shows our expenditure budget of $76.1 million, with the majority of expenditures in salary and benefits. Benefits include statutory fringe benefits such as STRS and PERS retirement, Social Security, unemployment, workers' compensation, Medicare, and of course, health benefits. Next slide, please. This slide shows our 21-22 estimated budget at first interim. That ends October 31st, 2021. Schools have 3 cycles: a first interim, a second interim, and an adopted budget. So our 21-22 actuals, or where we ended, is the middle column, and that's showing what our actual expenditures and revenues were when we ended 21-22. And then our the right-hand column is our 22-23 first interim budget, what our estimates are for this current fiscal year. The bottom chart shows the district's estimated current general fund reserves. We closed in 21-22 with an 18.2% to 4% level, and we are estimating end in 22-23 with a 22.29% level. The reserves are actually our working cash to pay monthly expenses, as our property taxes come in twice per year, December and April. State revenues come in percentage allocations monthly, and federal revenues come in after quarterly reports are filed showing actual expenses. So you can see where having a healthy cash reserve is critical in the operations of a district to pay for staff and services each month. This concludes my section of this presentation, and I would now like to introduce Dr. Natalie Winspear, our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services.
Thank you. And I will bring in Dr. Winspear, I think. Hi, Dr. Winspear. Give me just a second. I'll advance the slide, and I'm going to take myself out so it's just your show.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. As Dr. Taylor said, my name is Dr. Natalie Winspear, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Education Services for the Lakeside School District. If I were to describe education services in the simplest of terms, I would say that we are responsible for everything that happens in the Lakeside Union School District related to teaching and learning, or the support of students so that they can learn in school. The Ed Services team has many functions, and so I'm going to give you a very high-level overview of the things that the Ed Services team works on. We have so many folks on our team that contribute every single day to making our work successful, and that starts from the teachers who are in the classrooms actually doing the teaching and making sure that the learning is happening, to the site administrators, and then to all the support staff that are also available on the school sites to make sure that our kiddos have a wonderful experience in school. So I'm going to start by talking about the educational program of the district. So in education services, we make sure that our teachers have what they need in the classroom in terms of curriculum and materials to teach our students. We are also responsible for ensuring that our assessments across the district are aligned and available to teachers and teaching staff. So this includes anything from making sure that our CASP assessment at the end of the year is successful, to all of the other assessments that we engage in throughout the year to help us understand how our students are doing and how the learning is progressing, so that we can modify what we're doing to ensure that our students are successful throughout the year, maybe get them connected to some intervention services, whatever they need in order to be successful. So we do have a significant amount of intervention systems that we've developed over the years to help ensure that our students are successful. And the Ed Services team, in addition to making sure that those systems are in place and functioning effectively, also provides a lot of coaching and support to teachers to make sure that they have the tools, are using the tools and the resources that they have available to them to teach our very diverse students. Under education services, we also have the special education department. The special education department is led by Dr. Danielle Clark, and she also has working with her 2 special education program specialists, Alejandra Garcia and Sarah Davis. And these leaders work across the district to ensure that we're identifying students who qualify for special education services, that we're supporting our special education teachers and providers who are responsible for making these services happen. Ensuring that our teachers also have the support and the coaching and the materials that they need to serve our students. And then also to ensure that we have a robust and effective behavior support team. The behavior support team does work across the district with students with special needs, as well as with students who don't have special needs, anybody who has the need for behavior support. However, that program is under the umbrella of special education. And I think it's worth noting that we do have special education programs available at every single school site in our district. So they're a little bit different depending on the school site and the population served, but we do serve students with special needs at every single school in our district. Under the Ed Services umbrella, we also have the Student Support Program, and that is led by the director, Dr. Patty Fernandez. And under Health Services, we have many things, and I'm not going to talk about every single one of them, but we have our Health Services team that is responsible for supporting the health needs of students in our care. So we have 2 credentialed school nurses, as well as 6 licensed vocational nurses that are out across the district serving the medical needs of our students. We also have counseling and mental health services available under the Student Support Program. So we have counselors available at all of the schools in our district, as well as mental health specialists who are meeting one-on-one with students to address their mental health needs during the school day. And then student support also makes sure that our students who are homeless or in foster care are also receiving the support that they need, as well as the collaboration that needs to happen behind the scenes with these different agencies that support our students. So finally, back to the education services team. Some of the folks that I've already mentioned are pictured here, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about in Ed Services, we have 2 coordinators of special education, Beverly Jimenez and Michelle Perkins. And Beverly and Michelle work with me to ensure that our foundational education program is robust, rigorous, and meets the needs of our diverse student population, including students who are English learners and students who need targeted and intensive supports. So also engaged in that work with us and not pictured here, we are so lucky in this district to have 4 teachers on special assignment for multi-tiered systems of support. And really MTSS is just kind of a fancy name for those intervention supports and services that I mentioned earlier. So our 4 MTSS TOSAs, Sasha Elbaz, Carrie Suggett, Susie Smith, and Emily Okerlund, each work with 2 schools in the district, and they partner with our site administrators to ensure that we are looking at data, student data, that student data is helping to drive the instruction and the intervention that we provide to our students. We are also really lucky in education services to have 2 additional teachers on special assignment. One, Stephanie Jakes, who focuses on ensuring that our educational technology programs are being used appropriately in classrooms, that teachers have the support and coaching and training that they need to use those programs and the hardware that we have. And then we also, because we are a science district, we also have David Tupper, who is a teacher on special assignment for science. And Mr. Tupper has been instrumental in this district in helping us to roll out the next generation science standards, to adopt really awesome science curriculum that is aligned with those standards, and then to make sure that our teachers that are teaching science have the support that they need to understand the standards and teach the standards and use the new curriculum. And then next slide, last but not least, part of our birth to 8th grade educational program is our Lakeside Early Advantage preschool program. So LEAP actually has 3 different programs under the umbrella of our Lakeside Early Advantage preschool programs. And that includes 1, our tuition-based preschool program, 2, our state-funded preschool program, which is located at Lindo Park, and then also our special education infant and preschool programs. So our special education programs extend all the way to infancy for students who are identified very young as needing additional support, and we provide that support either in the home or in a classroom-based program for kiddos who are 18 months and up at the LEAP Marilla campus. So that is kind of a very, very, very high-level overview of the work of the Education Services team, and I'm going to now hand it off to our Human Resources Director, Executive Director, Dr. Christine Sinatra.
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Winspear. I appreciate that. So, as Dr. Winspear stated, my name is Dr. Christine Sinatra, and I head the Human Resources Department. And of course, I don't do all of that work all by myself. I have a really incredible team that I'd like to introduce to you. I'm going to give you a very brief overview of what they do because our work is incredibly detailed and we'd be here for a long time. So you're going to get a really quick, brief overview of all the things that we do. First of all, we have our confidential personnel specialist, Betsy Harding. We have our human resource technician, Lisa Mendoza, and our human resources assistant, Kelly Morton. HR is the heart of the district because all of our initial contacts with our employees who come to begin a really fabulous career with Lakeside Union School District begin with us. We're the first contact. So we want to make sure that people are welcomed. We want to make sure that they know that we're going to be here to take care of them through their entire career with us. As a team, we serve and support all employees, including our administrators, our certificated staff, our classified staff, and our substitutes. So initial contact begins with our HR assistant, Kelly Morton, who greets all who enter the district office with a smile and a professional demeanor, answering questions and directing them according to what they need. Our human resources technician, Lisa Mendoza, handles all certificated staff with credentialing, waivers, 30-day emergency credentials, working closely with the San Diego County Office of Education and the Commission on Teacher Credentialing to ensure that all of our staff have the proper credentials for the placement and the jobs that they are holding. And she also works very closely with every site to make sure that all of their certificated positions are filled. Our confidential personnel specialist, Betsy Harding, she serves as the direct support to the director, and I'm grateful for that. And she handles all matters for classified hiring and training and placement, workman's comp, and she's an invaluable resource to all. And then my position, the executive director, I oversee all of the HR responsibilities and functions. Additionally, I serve on cabinet, the management team, and both classified and certificated management negotiation teams. So you can see that there's quite a few activities that we all do and that we definitely need each other, and I have a great support team. So together, we work very diligently and collaboratively to ensure that our most important resources, which is all levels of our staff, get their needs met on a daily basis, as well as serve as the ambassadors for the district, attending community and other local events. And our team is just really terrific. So thank you. And now I would like to turn it back over to Dr. Rhonda Taylor.
Thank you, Dr. Sinatra. Okay, so now I would like to introduce you to our administrative staff. And I'm very proud of these people. Our school administrators, they set the tone and the intention for our schools. And everyone is working really, really hard. And I'm just really happy with the progress that they're making. First, we have Robin Bowman. She runs the LEAP preschool program. Dr. Winspear spoke about her earlier. Then we have Mr. Jim Rosa. He is over at Lakeside Farms. Tessa Green is over at Lindo Park. Mr. Tiger Rowan is over at Lakeview. Dr. Kelly Gilbert now, congratulations, Dr. Gilbert, is at Lemon Crest Elementary. We have Grace Cox, who is over at Riverview and Winter Gardens. Brooke Dexheimer, who's up at the Dream Academy and is starting a really amazing project-based learning program. Our middle school administrators are Mr. Steve Mull over at Lakeside Middle School, and his assistant principal is Mr. Jim Mitzel. Then we have Dr. Leslie Hardiman over at Tierra del Sol, and her assistant principal, Dr. Paula Macias Gonzalez. So again, this team works really, really hard, and we're super happy with them. So these are our test scores from our last state achievement test. And as you can see, like most of America with the pandemic, our students did suffer some learning loss. So we're working really, really hard to make up that learning loss. And our testing so far shows that we've stopped sliding, we're holding, and hopefully we're going to be growing quite a bit in our next round of testing. So that's happening right now. Our students are taking their testing this month, and some of them are done and some of them are right in the middle of it. So we're excited to see their progress. We have several goals here that we are working towards. We have 4 of them. It's really important for us to focus on those academics, and that would be math and of course, our English language arts. We also noticed that our students did suffer a lot socially and emotionally during the pandemic. I think the isolation of being in their rooms and not being able to socialize with each other set some of our students back. So we work really hard to provide them with all of the resources and supports that they need in order to be successful. Innovation and engagement has always been a high priority here at Lakeside Union School District, and we have not taken our foot off that gas pedal. So as I said, we're starting the Dream Academy, which is a 5-day in-person program next year, as well as still housing our homeschool program. We have FFA over at our middle schools. TDS has Project Feminere and Project Lead the Way. Both middle schools have that. So we're really, really working hard to make sure that our students are engaged and committed to their learning. Okay, our whole goal here is to produce a student that can think critically, learn continuously, collaborate and communicate effectively, persevere relentlessly, and care deeply. We decided as a group several years ago, we got together, put our heads together and said, what is it that we're committed to in the Lakeside Union School District? So this is our student profile, and this is what we're all about. So I want to thank you for spending this time with us and watching this little presentation of the state of the district. We'll be having these annually moving forward. And if you have any questions about the presentation, please email me at my rtaylor@lsusd.net. Okay, that's it. The team and I wish you a very happy day. Bye-bye.